560, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Check it out right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now,
the 3 times sexiest man in Millington, Johnny Harden.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hadn't been happy for everybody out there. We're talking about a new world that's got everybody's panties in a wad, and I'm talking about even golfers. Bryson DeChambeau. Have you ever heard of golfers just gotten too big for the ball right now? Well, I'm going to have that conversation. 49ers, they've given Kyle Shanahan a new deal. Tony Clark and Rob Manfred and MLB and the owners, Players Association, the whole thing looks like trash. Ohio State's lost its dead-gum mind having kids sign a waiver and then lying to our face. Well, we don't look at it as a legal document. We're just kind of looking at it as a pledge. But wait a second. If they do get coronavirus, they can't do anything because you'll then use it as a legal document. My goodness, don't pee on my head and tell me it's raining. You know what I'm saying? That's insulting to me because that is the only thing that I can think of. That's how close and sick and ridiculous that is. And then I also want to talk to y'all because there was an article today by somebody that I read usually daily. Again, I know you're never going to agree with somebody all the time. But his article and talking about the dangers of Chuba Hubbard and the power that athletes are now having over their coaches is disgusting, and I'm going to explain something. I heard Greg and Eli on middays. They talked about, what could change, here going forward from the coronavirus. I'm not sure if it's necessarily the coronavirus, but I do feel like we are in an age of change, and a lot of people haven't woke to it. And that is the age of empowerment of the college athlete versus just their superstar multimillionaire coach. If you're a superstar athlete, you have a voice now. You go on your Twitter. You have millions of followers. You go out there and say something, people are going to listen. So we are in an age. I'm going to talk about that. We have the leadoff. John Luke McCord is joining us, and I'm telling you, Sports 56 Happy Hour is going to hit you so hard, and we are going to have a whole lot of fun. And we're going to talk about Kyrie. We're going to talk about Matt Barnes. We have all kinds of stuff. Heck, even WNBA news I have. Like, even the WNBA is doing better than most associations. Like, they figured out. Now, I know it's a lot less money, less games, a lot less things to fight about, but they have already come up with a plan, so congratulations. I will be mentioning that, and I got so many other things. I get to talk about conspiracy theories today. Oh, it's just going to be so much fun. I cannot wait. So thank you all for joining in Sports 56 Happy Hour. You know me, Johnny Radio. You know Gabe Kuhn at G_Kuhn71. And you know that without my wonderful sponsors like Chad Gatlin at MemphisFarmers.com, that's MemphisFarmers.com, I have no chance of coming on here. It's you, it's them, it's us, it's together, it's having fun. And, man, when I bring somebody on, who represents my show, I really do get to know them. I really, really do. I vet them. I care about them. And me and Chad have become great friends. I know him very, very well. And, again, I trust him. He's a straight shooter. He's from this area. He knows exactly what you need, everything you don't. And I just want to remind you, auto, home, life, renters, business, motorcycle, recreation, umbrella, every type of insurance you can ask my buddy Chad at MemphisFarmers.com about. Or you can call him at 901-235-1176. But the one thing I want to remind you, with all these people who have lost their jobs and things are going a little bit different, I hate to say it, but it's true. Every one of us are going to die. It's part of life. We all die. I don't know. You did know that, right, Gabe?
That's terrible news.
Yeah, we're going to die one day.
Learn something new every day.
Doesn't that stink to know that we're going to eventually die one day? You think anybody will even show up? Anyway, so make sure that if you have a family like I do, which I have an arsenal of, I'm just kidding, not an arsenal, but, I got a couple daughters, a couple grandkids. Something happens to me, I want to make sure that my family has a strong footing. So, yes, I have a life insurance policy through my work, but get one also through Farmers Insurance, because I'm telling you, if you lose your job, if something bad happens, that footing could be the difference. And by the way, it's just such peace of mind. So check it out. And now it's time to get in the box. Even though we might not have baseball this year, let's do the leadoff.
I asked you yesterday about Kyrie. Now I want there's somebody who responded to Kyrie, and I think you brought him up, Matt Barnes. Matt Barnes says, Kyrie needs to stop BSing, and he did not say BSing. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. He did not say BSing. Not. He said the full word. Sitting out with a cause or a purpose defeats the purpose, and then it also divides us. Do you think Matt Barnes stepped over the line here, or do you think that he has a lot of validity to this point?
I think he has a ton of validity. I think Kendrick Perkins came on and, even took Matt Barnes' side today. If you listen to it, what changed? And I'm not trying to be mean. Just I want you to think about the timing, and this is what Kendrick Perkins brought up. What changed from when George Floyd died? Then the protesting started right after that, and then Kyrie doesn't come out until what? 2 weeks later. Now he's like, hey, we don't want to. No. When Kyrie found out that he could not go participate and be a part of the bubble and be in there, because that's what has changed. That's the only thing that's changed. The riots have continued. The things are going on, social unrest, yada, yada. But what changed in Kyrie's life for him to take this stance? Matt Barnes and Kendrick Perkins pointed out the obvious. The one thing that changed, Kyrie can't be a part of it. So now Kyrie knows there's not going to be an attention put on him. And guess what Kyrie is dying for? Attention. He always wants to be attention. He didn't like being second fiddle to LeBron James. It drove him up out of there. So I'm just telling you, I have to say, I'm sticking with Matt Barnes. And we talked about it yesterday. Does it make sense for the largest platform in the world, the NBA playoffs? Do you know how many people that draw in, and especially now during
at this
COVID-19?
Time, could you imagine?
Woo, those numbers are going to be insane, yo. Everybody and their grandmother's going to be locked in. I mean, we're watching sports documentaries. No offense, like Tyrone Biggums is chasing a crack rock on a Saturday night. It's like, I'm fiending for that sucker, baby. I want those sports documentaries. So the live sports, man, the NBA would be, the NBA would be so on point, it wouldn't be even funny. Don't make me mention, yes, MLB, if they were playing like on July 4th. How
you just wait.
We're
going to cover that.
Yeah, I know, but I just had to say I am with him. And again, I just hate to do this. And I'm going to have to honestly, I always try to be fair. So I did also get Kyrie's statement today because I didn't want to be just a complete one-sided person. And you're like, you only give us just one side always. It's your opinion. No. Here's Kyrie's statement. And if this is after Matt Barnes called him, you know what. And this is what he came out with today. And now, does this sound like a very nice word salad? Abso-damn-lutely. But again, I want you to remember as I'm reading this, the things that have changed and why he is now taking this stance, he will not be part of that. He's not going to be down there. Why? Because he's not playing and you're injured. And guess what happens if you're injured and not playing? They're not going to put you in the bubble. Did you all not hear that? Oh, that's just another little slight thing that's kind of like sliding under the radar. How many people know Kyrie's not welcome to Disneyland? See, a lot of people don't. Or Disney World, whatever it's called, the bubble. A lot of people did not know that what changed the day he came out and made this coalition and made the phone call, the day after he made the phone call was the day after he found out he was not able to go. Come on, man. Now, this is the last thing I got to do because Gabe's going to punch me. Here's what he said. As an oppressed community, we are going on 500 plus years of being systemically targeted, used for our intellectual property, talent, and also still being killed by the very people that are supposed to be there to protect and serve us. We have had enough, all caps. We are combating the issue that matter most. We will not accept the racial injustice that continue to be ignored in our communities. We will not be kept in the dark when it comes to our health and well-being. And then he says, we will not ignore the financial motivations, expectations that have prevented us historically from making sound decisions. What? So wait, basically you're saying Money in the past has now, like, y'all have made bad. Again, please, Kyrie, shut up and let somebody that can, a real leader, let LeBron James, let the people who are going to be down there, let them make a stance and a platform. And the last thing I want to remind you is, why would you right now at this time when we're so divided try to divide your own league? That's about as selfish as anything I've ever seen. And the 100 players, we looked it up, Gabe. How much money? All of them over like
all over
240
million.
Man, it's ridiculous, man. Yeah, so yes, while they can sit there and say, hey, they're super rich. They can say anything. It's not going to affect them. But what about the other players? What about the country? And again, like I've said for baseball, NBA players, I never thought I'd have to say this to you. I've been telling baseball what's best for the game, MLB owners. What's best for the game, MLB players. NBA players, what's best right now for the game, right now for your movement, and also for your brand. And that's getting yourself down there and playing and doing whatever you want down in Disneyland and having all eyes on y'all.
And also, I think the financial implications of it are actually could be detrimental to the league that he plays in and loves so dearly. And also, if they go down there and they get money, the same people that support the movement can give money to the movement. I'm not here to completely kill Kyrie and say that he's the only one with this thought and that it's a bad thought. I just disagree.
I think
with
it's
it.
selfish.
I don't think it's well thought out enough, and I think there's other guys in the league that think that as well. Now moving on to baseball, and I know this is going to hurt you
One
when I
question
ask
I'm going to
this.
do, but right before I get it, if Kyrie was able to go and sit at least on the sideline and hang out in Disney and do his thing, do you think he would be doing this?
I don't know, and I don't want to have to try to prove a negative today. But anyway, MLB, Rob Manfred. Last week, remember when he said, I'm 100% sure the season is happening. It's going to happen. You remember that?
Oh, trust me.
Yesterday he took a mean step back, saying that he's not confident that they can reach a deal on a 2020 season without back and forth dialogue between the players and the owners. How much of this failure, in your opinion, is on Rob Manfred's shoulders?
You know, I was listening to you talk again with Middays and Greg and Eli, and I actually think Greg kind of hit something. I liked even what you said, but then the more I thought about it, and Greg made a very good point. You know, as much as we are killing Rob Manfred, and yes, he rightfully so should be getting smoked. The commissioner of Major League Baseball, it has been an absolute disaster. But I also do want to remind people, I feel in some you have to go back and look. Remember the timeline that I told y'all? Look back when actually Rob Manfred, when this whole coronavirus stuff, it all started. Immediately he goes to Tony Clark. He goes to the Major League Baseball Association. He goes out there and works out a deal. They get a financial deal worked out. They're going to take a little bit of a haircut. They're going to, stop all this stuff, and they're going to resume and yada yada. And they're putting everything in their hands. And then what happens? Rob Manfred is like, all right, we're putting things back together, and he goes and talks to the owners. He's like, we got the players on our side, and the owners are like, no, take them back this. He takes it back to them. They actually argue a little bit, but then they end up signing it again. Then he takes it back to the owners again, and then it's already been signed twice by the players. Again, he comes back a third time, and you know what the owners finally do? They basically give him the finger, and wouldn't you? Because the players knew that the owners weren't acting in good faith. If you have watched the owners have not been acting in good faith. When you learn about the under 50 games and the amount of money that the players would actually get, and then the amount of revenue that would be split, like, what was it, $793 million would be split by the 30 owners, while $203 million would be split by the players. Does that seem fair to you? Do you remember that 50-50 split they talked about? Oh, what happened to that one? Oh, yeah, they signed that one, and MLB said no. So, again, I look at this like Rob almost has been a puppet. He's been played by his own bosses, the people that own the damn teams.
And that's where I come with the question, is because he never, in his years as the MLB commissioner, has tried to get the side of the players. He plays
You're
one
right.
side,
He
and I
does.
think that's sort of, to be honest, I will admit that
Part of
that's
the
sort
job.
of the history of the MLB and these labor relations, but it has to change if the MLB ever wants to be relevant again.
Great point. And by the way, again, the fact that Rob could not talk to the owners and the players, and again, I don't understand how you become commissioner of baseball and not understand about the effects of the country from the 94 to 95 strike, the unbelievable luck you had with the Sosa-McGuire race, the fact that baseball came back, you did ban steroids, and then baseball's making buku amounts of cash like it's never done before, and you decide during a global pandemic that y'all are going to do some financial BS, cut 40 now to minor league teams, go from 40 to 5 this year, and just so you know, people, next year it's not going back to 40, it's going to 20. They're now doing just 20, not 40. The Albert Pujols were selected after the 20th round, people like that. There's a lot of pro ball players. And again, how do you have the minor league system? The funds are there. They've just erased literally almost $1 billion in jobs in bonuses that they would give out every year to the draft, because each team was getting $31 million. 31 million times 10, 310 million plus 3, because there's 30 teams. Yep, that's $930 million that they aren't paying in bonuses now every single year to a bunch of young ball players. It's going to have an effect on college baseball. It's going to have such a trickle-down effect. Rob messed up everything, and the bad thing about this is the beginning, because the nightmare is in 2020.
Sad, isn't it?
Yeah, and by the way, 2020 is it's when the collective
sad.
bargaining agreement
Now,
will be
speaking
over.
of 2020, now yesterday this was a somewhat 2020 story, and I was remiss to bring this up because I know the text line's about to absolutely blow up as soon as I do and as soon as we start talking about this. But the OAN Mike Gundy situation where he was wearing a shirt, his running back, his best player, came out and was mad. Now, last night, Chuba Hubbard and him both came out with a video where Hubbard ended up apologizing for bringing it up via Twitter and not coming to him man-to-man about it. And Gundy didn't apologize for
No, he did
anything.
not.
Some people don't think he should. Some people really do think he should. We're in a time now, whether you want to believe it or not, and I'm talking to the people that are about to kill the text line, where certain things are unacceptable. People are speaking out on things that make them uncomfortable, that make them question the leadership that they have, right? So I just want to ask you, what did you make of the whole situation, the way it played out yesterday?
The whole thing for me is absolutely embarrassing. Chuba Hubbard, and I want to bring this up very, very simple. Chuba Hubbard is the running back who is their best player on their team. We are in a different day and time, and what you say and what you read and what you follow, it does matter. We don't have the fairness doctrines anymore. Media, if you haven't known, gets to basically tell you what they want. It doesn't have to be fair. It can be slanted or biased or whatever it wants. So unfortunately, the fourth estate, which was journalism, which was set up to make sure you were an informed citizenry, has been basically gutted. And I hate for anybody to try to say OAN is a legitimate news service, because this bothers me. And then this is what ticks me off more than anything, so please listen. And if you're going to say, John, anybody's a legitimate news service, InfoWars was put off air, okay? Because he kept going on and saying the Sandy Hook massacre did not happen. Well, I went to OAN to find out, and to find out everything about it. I went and looked up 2 of their lead reporters. The craziest thing is one of them actually works for Sputnik. She is still writing for Sputnik, and she's actually paid for by Moscow and goes back and forth, but she's also a QAN reporter and on TV and one of their best people. The other person, I pulled up and I just couldn't, I was laughing so hard I thought this had to be fake. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, there's no way that they would literally just do that. But no, they did. And it was just heartbreaking. So on the website, Miss Rion is one of the lead people. And here's how she describes herself on her bio. I am a fierce foe of anything Clinton, of everything Obama, and as a total and unrelenting enemy of an academic left liberalism and political correctness anywhere and anytime. Now, the stories that I found on there. Do you know the 75-year-old man who was pushed down?
Yep.
So they came out, and this is their story from her. This is from her. We have found from our sources that Martin Gugliano, who was pushed but looks like he fell a lot harder than he was pushed, is a Antifa provocateur. This is a scam. This is a setup, and I believe he had police scanner blocking material on him.
Sounds pretty conspiratorial to me.
What the bleep are you talking about? The New York Times, Buffalo, Governor Cuomo had to come out and basically say that that was BS. The other story that I looked up that I could not even believe, the stuff they were pushing. I mean, and again, when you're pushing agendas that are so far in BS, that make absolutely no sense, and then you have a guy who is supposed to be a leader of men, and Mike Gundy is supposed to be a leader of men. And let's just be real about these facts. If they're uncomfortable to you and they don't make you feel comfortable, tough. 70%, I looked it up, of college athletes that are on a football team are African American, black, brown, whatever you want to say, black. They're dark skinned. 70%. Over 90% of the coaches at these institutions, these leaders of men, are white. That is just a fact. So basically what I'm saying is, if you're going to be a leader of men, you have to be a leader of all the men that you represent. And if you are so foolish to absolutely say this, and I'm going to use Mike Gundy's quotes, I don't understand how the t-shirt could spark any news. I've been reading them for years. They just report the news. It was so refreshing. There's no commentary. There's no opinions. There's no right. There's no left. That's the most ignorant statement I've ever heard on Earth. On planet Earth, I've never heard a more ignorant statement than that. You're going to tell me you can literally go on there and can't see all the damn conspiracies. There was a chat box I went to, and I'm going to tell you something. You go to this chat box, you're going to get upset. I'm sure it's going to be down really quickly because I've never seen that many racist words on one chat box. And they call it the justice box or something. Look, I didn't ever want to go into this QANN thing, but I had to literally go in and look at it. And then I also need to chastise a reporter, and I'm not going to say his name because, again, I respect him, but don't ever come out and say this is dangerous in a time where we need leaders and we need young men to follow their leaders. What Chuba Hubbard did was dangerous and divisive. No, the coach, the man who screams, "I'm 40, I'm a man, deal with me." And also the dude had to apologize for the China virus and all these things. I mean, every time he opens his mouth, he basically tells you what he is. How is Oklahoma State really going to go forward? And that whole BS thing, Chuba Hubbard didn't want to be there. Did you see that fake dap at the end? Man, I'm sorry. I found that, and by the way, just so you know, to absolutely say that, and to be as blind and not realize that we are in an age of empowerment of college athletes. Like, literally, we're in the middle of this age where college athletes are empowered because if you're a star, you're a celebrity, your words matter. And then to try to shut them down is just the power system trying to hold down these young men, and that is BS. And I'm sick of it. And Gundy, if he wasn't owed so much money, and if he didn't get Chuba Hubbard to come on there to do that video, I don't think he has a job. I just don't. And in today's society, when we've already seen what happened at Iowa, when we've all seen these people lose their jobs for making statements that weren't even as bad as Gundy's, and somebody said, all he did was wear a shirt. No, he came back and said, I've been reading them for years. They just report the news. It's so refreshing. There's no commentary. There's no opinions. There's no right. There's no left. And this is a leader of men? I'm sorry, I just don't see it. And it breaks my heart because I realistically do think we need leaders. And if we have good leaders, we wouldn't have this much division and problems. We got to come together. We got to unify. Kyrie, stop causing problems inside of the NBA. Let's get the NBA rolling. Let's stop making all these, injustices that have become laws. Let's get rid of them. Let's get baseball back. People, ask yourself this. What is best for the game? What is best for the country? What is best for the future? Don't constantly be so damn selfish. We'll be back in 2 shakes. This is Sports 56, 96.1. And don't forget, John Luke McCord's next on 87.7 FM.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ. Listen to us daily on AM 560, 96.1 FM, or 87.7 FM.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Family Leisure's here to make staying at home more enjoyable for you and your family this summer. Complete pool packages starting at $15.99. 24-foot pools only $19.99. 4-person spas starting at $19.99. Swim spas starting at under $10,000. We are offering contactless purchasing, deliveries, and curbside pickup. Give us a call to schedule an appointment or to place an order. Stay safe with Family Leisure.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. As well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere on your phone or tablet by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, tell Google or Alexa to play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Show me the way to the next
Whiskey bar. How don't ask why. How don't ask why. Show me the way. Now we're going to party. It is a Sports 56 happy hour. Your good buddy Johnny Radio. We got Gabe. It's Tuesday. I'm just keeping it real. We got Roger Goodell. He last night goes on TV and he's like, I support team signing Kaepernick. It's kind of like one of those things like, I think you're a little late, buddy. I don't know if after, 4 years since he's played in the league, that he's realistically going to go out there and just light the world on fire, and we're going to see an NFL
And then, heck,
caliber
but
quarterback.
also, if you could ask the question, I think Roger Goodell did what he just answered it.
He did.
All he did was I encourage people to go after him. Like
yeah,
he just
I just found it comical about how like the stance is like he's this dude is literally, that's why I always laugh about Roger. He's just blowing in the wind, man. Every day. I'm gonna throw this out there, and I'm gonna stick my thumb out, and I'm gonna take the temperature, whatever the ways winds blow, and that's the way we.
It's like he takes
today.
polls before he makes statements.
It is true, man. He's a wild man, but he's annoying. But he is trying to do a great job, and he's made the NFL a lot of money. I am actually going to say he's done a better job than my man Rob Manfred, who cannot get the two sides to understand. And I thought Greg was pretty good. 60 on the owners, 40 on the players. I think both sides should have done a lot, like worked their tail off to explain to them how important this is for the game going forward, how important this is for the collective bargaining. And if these two sides sat down and talked, could you imagine, hey, we got a shortened season. Why don't we implement some of these rule changes that y'all keep trying to, want to implement? We'll see how it works in this shortened season. And then at the end of the season, we'll actually have open dialogue and discussion before we go into the collective bargaining agreement. Does that not, is logic and sense just too much for this world? Or do people just literally like to bully and control by power? Because it just doesn't seem like anybody uses common sense or logic anymore. John Luke McCord, what's up, Big Pimpin'?
Buzz, guys. It's getting a little bit warmer around the collar down here in Mississippi. Man. We're ready to hop on with you guys. How's y'all's week going?
Man, everything's going really, really well. Just hoping we were going to get some good news with baseball. I'm getting a little bit depressed about that. I've been confused about some of the stuff that's going on. I've been laughing about Ohio State. We're going to talk about in that waiver. But I got to ask you right now, and by the way, everybody knows John Luke McCord. Make sure you do, you know who he is and check out all of his stuff. But he joins me pretty much about every Tuesday, 1:30 or 2, and we wrap college football. But I got to know, Lane Kiffin feels like he's kind of trying to make some excuses in that explaining about his struggling in recruiting so much. And one, why is Lane struggling? I thought Lane was like so good on social media and I don't know. I thought he had that personality that he would be able to go in there and bring some of these top athletes to the University of Ole Miss and the University of Mississippi, Ole Miss Rebels. And I don't know. I don't understand it anymore.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Look, I think certainly you look around, other schools, are not having as big of an excuse with the COVID deal. You do look at Jeremy Pruitt. He's a guy that's been at Tennessee. He's not in year one. He's had seasons. He's got stuff on tape to show recruits. And I think that's one thing that's hurting Lane here is there's no film of what he's done at Ole Miss. Sure, he just had, one of the top tight ends in the country at FAU, and no one knew who Harrison Bryant was until they saw him at the College Football Awards show as a finalist for the Mackey Award. He needs film of an SEC product on the field at Ole Miss to show recruits, especially at a time when you can't have them on campus and you can't go out and see them. And so that recruiting dead period stretching into the summer, obviously canceling the summer camps and things like that, all these recruiting elements, I think, were areas where Lane was wanting to ramp things up. He wasn't wanting to take as many kids early in the spring, and now that strategy simply, it's failed him because that strategy was never going to work in a time like COVID.
That does make a lot of sense. It's just kind of surprising to see where they were last year. I think they finished last year ranked like 20th and then in the country and then where they are today. I don't know why I thought just Lane would come in and it didn't even matter. I just thought the swagger.
He had some misses. He had some misses that were interesting around, especially that first signing day and the second signing day too, that were just, you kind of wondered about those misses because behind the scenes you heard that they were kids that even in a short time window that maybe Lane had the claws in on. Frankly, you recruit a kid that had become risky to recruit in Zach Evans, and you stay on him beyond signing day to the point that it looked like if Ole Miss isn't going to get him here, this was really not a great idea to continue pursuing a kid like Zach Evans. It's interesting to say the least, but you do look at the kids that Lane has got in place.
Like Zach Evans hurt, but do you still think he has a chance at somebody like Quentin Barnes, the wide receiver out of Cane Ridge and stuff? That would be a nice score.
Here's what I think. Look, he's had some success. Henry Parrish from South Florida last class. Also, they got a kid after signing day, Mark Britt from down there. I think the kid you mentioned, they don't have a great shot there. I'm not sure with some of the elite kids in South Florida this class, they have a high shot. I think they're actually looking towards 2022. That might be the time when they're actually able to plug some kids of that value out of South Florida. As for now, I mean, they're recruiting the state of Texas hard. They're actually recruiting up around the Virginia area pretty hard, and so they got some kids from a kid from Nashville recently, and so they're hitting some of the hotbeds. But Lane's gonna have to. He came in with the dynamic of how he wanted to recruit Mississippi, which was basically scrape off the very top. And I think in a state like Mississippi, you have to embrace those evaluations and be willing to go after more than just the top kids. In Mississippi, kids aren't going to always have the greatest profile, the greatest resume, but there's really good players tucked under some of those, questionable resumes at times. And I think you have to dig deeper in Mississippi and be willing to recruit. That's another thing about the state. You can ask Houston Nutt. If you don't seem sold out and committed to recruiting Mississippi, you'll learn that you'll even have a hard time plucking some of those very, very top guys.
Man, and the thing that's also kind of messed me up a little bit is I'm surprised at how well actually, because I thought Lane and his personality, I didn't know. I mean, trust me, Mike has personality coming out the wazoo, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah. Lane was just, I guess, being at Alabama, was it at Tennessee? We know about the UCLA debacle. We know all that stuff. We know about all this stuff down in Florida. But, I mean, I just felt like, Leach was more, different. You got a guy who, went from, Waco, Texas out to, Washington State, So he's in two very, places that not everybody's just paying a whole lot of attention to a whole lot of football and stuff like that, and you're looking and seeing what's going down. You find out this guy, he's got a great offense, and then he gets transfers like KJ Costello, I was surprised. I don't know how good he's going to be, but hey, he likes him. You get Scott Lashley. He gets a lot of good transfers, and then he goes out and signs some pretty good, young people in-state and out-of-state talent. I thought he did a lot better. What do you actually think, since you know more about this?
Look, I'll say this. I'm surprised early on at the dynamic that is happening, because Mike Leach is resonating with some of these kids within the Magnolia State borders. He's getting, like you mentioned, he's getting some of those transfers to come home. He's recruiting the junior colleges, which are always going to be important here in Mississippi. You guys know that. And he's getting some of the kids at the high school level that I think are three-star kids that you need in your program at Mississippi State or Ole Miss. That you might not feel that way if you're at a Georgia or a South Carolina, but within this state, it's important to get those kids, and they will show up on Saturdays for you down the road. And so I think early on, I am surprised that Leach, and frankly, Leach's staff are the ones making that happen. Lane, not only a personality in and of himself, I think you could almost say that him and Leach could cancel each other out there. But the staff Lane has is a much better recruiting staff, but they're using their ties around the Southeast, and right now coming up a little bit short, whereas Mike Leach is glad to pluck a lot of these apples off the tree here in Mississippi.
It is going to be a wild one. I'm ready for some football, but I got to ask you, do you think the reaction from Ohio State, and if anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about, Ohio State has gone out. They've asked their kids to sign a waiver regarding the COVID. I've looked. I haven't seen anybody else do this except for Ohio State. They've taken a lot of flack, and I would see why. Parents and their players signing this, it is a legal document, no matter if they say, we're looking at this more like a pledge. We're going to take care of you here. We can't take care of you out there or whatever. To me, again, it's just basically saying, so if you get sick, you get COVID-19, you're on your own. We, no fault, no mas, no bueno. After seeing some of the flack like that, you don't expect, or did you even expect the SEC to even do something like this? Were you surprised at Ohio State, and do you expect any other schools to follow? I lost you, didn't I, John? John, you there?
I'm here, man. Maybe it does happen at a few other places sprinkled across the country. Maybe that becomes a trend in the Big Ten, but trend is the key word here when you look at it from the SEC perspective. You don't want to do anything in the SEC that's going to really give you a disadvantage. It's such a competitive league. Recruiting is going on every second of every day. And if it's not something that every school in the league is going to jump on board with, you're best just not to stick with it. Stay with the trend and don't give yourself any disadvantages in such a competitive recruiting league. And so I think that's why you didn't see any sort of major restrictions there. But when you consider some of the hot zones, it is interesting to see what the SEC schools are doing, because whether they want to or not, they're going to have to serve as models because of some of the way other schools, other conferences look towards the SEC, and the way some of the hotbeds, when you look at Montgomery or you look at around the Atlanta area, around the SEC footprint that have been affected. And it's not just those schools that are there. It's all the kids that have been at home that are coming back to your programs, now coming back to your campuses, that have been in those areas.
It's going to be wild. It's going to be really wild. But the one thing I was also going to ask, what do you think about when you talk to a lot of people about the Southeastern Conference and football this year? You know, when a lot of talk is around Trevor Lawrence over at Clemson and Dabo and their program, and the other talk is at Justin Fields and, of course, Ohio State. Now, we talked about Ohio State with that, waiver thing that they made sign. That was ridiculous. But on the field, those are probably going to be the top two quarterbacks. They're tier one. And, you know what I mean? Those are 1 and 2 right there. You look around the state, the country, you see people like, Brady White right here in Memphis. He's going to have a heck of a season. As many years as he's been playing, he should be great. De'Aaron King down in Miami. We'll see what happened with him. Sam Ellinger. He's been there forever.
Is Texas back?
Are they going to be back? There's a bunch of guys. I don't know if I'm sold on Kyle Trask yet, but he's got the job. He's got a great quarterback. He's got one hell of an offensive line, and they can play some mean defense, and they got to compete with Georgia. And I don't know, is it going to be Jamie Newman down there or what? So basically what I'm trying to say is it kind of weird how it feels like, Kellen Mond over at Texas A&M, what's he going to be able to do? It just looks like the main two dudes are, Ohio State, Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, and Clemson. And it's kind of weird because this is the first year that it feels like the SEC, which is the biggest, baddest league on the block. I expect to have some people in the championship discussion. We didn't see Joe Burrows coming out of anywhere last year, and he was just flat out amazing. But is there a quarterback or a team in the SEC that you might that might surprise us and might come out and bust up Fields and Lawrence and Clemson and just go through and win the whole bad boy?
I am a big fan of Jamie Newman actually right there in Georgia. I think that's a guy that has a chance to, and frankly Trask too. I mean, I would love to be able to give you the answer here. Hey, Mond's going to be a guy that really trumps out. Or Terry Wilson's a guy that at Kentucky is really going to have a big jump out.
Don't they? Like, doesn't A&M
they really
need
do, and
that
that's
year?
why I say that too, because Mond is the guy that you'd like to really see him put it together, because I think as a fan of the league, we would have a really exciting player to watch. And you talk about maybe what John Rice Plumlee was able to do, maybe not as much of the touchdown long runs, but with an arm. That's what I think of with Kellen Mond, a really mobile guy that you can count on in third and short, maybe a la Dak Prescott back in the day. But if he can make those throws down the field, that they put athletes around him there. They built a decent offensive line. Jimbo, if he can get on the same page with the quarterback, is dangerous. So I'd love to say Mond. Again, I'd love to say Terry Wilson, and that Kentucky team unlocks a lot of potential with him having big play. But I really am looking at a couple of guys like Jamie Newman that I think is going to have a really good season. And again, I think Mac Brown, as it comes closer to the season, it doesn't look like the freshman's going to be able to beat him out in this shorter window. So I think Mac Jones
is going to be the dude.
Mac Jones, yeah.
So do you think with
so.
Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddell, I mean, that's Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, and Jalen Waddell basically all over again. I mean, he's going to have weapons galore. I mean, I think he should be successful as all get out. You can't argue with the weapons that they have. And I still have heard, and I know it's the second year, but, Bo Nix is eventually supposed to be great according. So we're going to find out about Auburn. I'm not really sold on them. Kyle Trask in Florida, I like them. But, Jamie Newman, Georgia, I think this could be interesting. I mean, this is a 6'4", 230-pound dude who threw 26 touchdowns, had 180 yards rushing, and 6 touchdowns. I mean, this dude, had 180 rushing attempts and 574 yards and 6 touchdowns last year for Wake. So he is, if he can do it for Wake, what could he do behind Georgia's offensive line? I think that would be interesting. So I think it's going to be a fun year in the Southeastern Conference. Anybody out there, though, that you have any, do you have any clue, honestly, other than, hey, Ole Miss and Mississippi State, they're going to be fighting it out like they always do. They're always going to be picked to be last, but they always never ended up being there. But what do you think about, is there anybody that on LSU, are they going to go down real bad this year, or are they going to try to maintain?
They're going to try to maintain, and I think they have some weapons back. Look, they're going to have to refigure things out at running back, and just because you have a talented room, you don't have the guy, I think, right there. So you got to figure that out. And you're doing this all while you have a major downgrade at the quarterback position. You remember Miles Brennan, that's a Mississippi guy. I got to see him play in a couple of state championship games back-to-back in his junior and senior season. I mean, look, and I told you guys before, I mean, just in the high school level, he dominated the defenses he should have, broke state records, but went against Jeffrey Simmons and a physical defense in the state title game back-to-back years and just wasn't the same player. And so I don't think that's a guy who's ready to step into the spotlight there at LSU. I could be wrong when season comes, but I think they have a major talent downgrade there, and I don't think he's a guy that's going to make a ton of mistakes or a ton of interceptions, but just the potential goes way down when you move Miles Brennan into the quarterback position to LSU, and I think you even more into a situation with, is he the guy that starts every game there for them this season? So I think LSU is a team that falls way off. I think Kentucky has a chance to be really good and maybe get closer to that top pack in the SEC East than we think early on. Just a few thoughts. But,
I think also Joe Burrow, everybody's going to remember the loss of him at LSU, but don't forget Joe Brady. He's back in the National Football League, I think, with Carolina. I think that's also going to be a big loss for LSU. So it's going to be fun. I'm hoping that we're going to get some sports coming here really, really soon. John Luke, we talk every single Tuesday, 1:30 or 2. Make sure you check us out, and always check him out at the Northeast Mississippi Daily Journal. And by the way, he's at JL Grindin on Twitter. That's at JL Grindin. John, be good out there, brother, and stay safe.
Thank you, guys. See y'all.
That's my buddy, John Luke. I am going to take a quick break. I'm always going to remind you what? MemphisFarmers.com on Sports 56, 96.1. And, oh, yeah, we got to talk about Tony Clark a little bit more. And did you know Kyle Shanahan is rich on 87.7 FM?
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and C.J. Hertz. Right here on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
Farmers Insurance knows that when you're in the car and that song comes on, yes, that's the one, you have no choice but to pull out your imaginary drumsticks and smash those cymbals and stomp on that kick pedal, which unfortunately is the accelerator pedal. And we covered it. Talk to a farmer's agent who knows a thing or two because they've seen a thing or two.
Call Chad Gatlin at 901-235-1176 or get a fast quote at MemphisFarmers.com.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
The landscape is so beautiful at Town Village Audubon Park. Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. Looking for a great place to retire, but you still have a very active lifestyle? Then visit Town Village. Only requirements that you're 55 plus. Prices per month starting at $24.50. The Gourmet Chef welcomes you to visit our restaurant and bistro. Package includes 3 complimentary meals per day, maid service, free local transportation, monthly coffee club, themed dinner parties, lots of fun. Visit us and call Daniel or Bo at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home. Town Village Audubon Park.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. As well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere on your phone or tablet by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, tell Google or Alexa to play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quick. quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Thick and thin, I'm your pusher man. I'm your pusher man.
I am your pusher man. 67129 is the text line. This is Sports 56 Happy Hour with your very good friend Johnny Radio. Y'all know the College Football Hall of Fame. It's been announced. Heck, you got 11 former SEC stars up in there. You got all kinds of people up in there. But the one I wanted to give a little mention to is Billy Jack. Make sure you say Spook before people go crazy. Billy Jack Spook Murphy, by the way, rest in peace. Because didn't he pass away in 2008? Great coach. And he has also been announced into the College Football's Hall of Fame. But just wanted to give that one a little bit of shout-out. Now, Kyle Shanahan. Gabe, let me ask you a question. Because I did have a texter say, well, how do you know how much it's worth? Dude, when it's 6 years, bro, it's worth a lot. And when they don't tell you right off the bat, it's worth a lot. Trust me. I don't think Kyle is going to be poor anymore. Or was poor in the first place. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, again, hear what I'm saying. My man is going to be, he's got an extension, has been extended to 6 years with the San Francisco 49ers. John Lynch and him like each other. You know what I'm saying? They down. And by the way, why wouldn't you be? They've been doing a pretty deadgum good job. But there's also been a lot of stuff that's been going around. One person texted in something that I thought was pretty interesting. They said, I try to, I agree with a lot of stuff. But just very simple. Mike Gundy is free to watch whatever news he wants to, just like the recruits this upcoming season are free to choose whatever school they deserve. If Mike can recruit and win at a reasonable clip, he'll be okay. But it'll be interesting to see how hard those guys actually play for him this year. Also, don't forget he's 2-13 versus Oklahoma, and I've been talking to a lot of people up in Stillwater, and they're pretty sick of that already. 2-13 in his career against OU. That is also not getting it done. And again, I didn't bring up anything about CNN. I wouldn't say anything. Dude, if he was wearing a Fox News shirt, do you think anybody would be upset today? Again, go look what One News America.
One American News.
One American News Network is. I've already told you, when you have a coach who is supposed to be a leader of men, and he's supposed to be intelligent, and he's supposed to bring a group of guys together, you can't say, I've been reading them for years. It's so refreshing. They just report the news. There's no commentary. There's no opinions. There's no right. There's no left. And on the very top of it, what did I say? That the very first thing that it says about their number one reporter, like, it comes out and describes her as a fierce foe of anything Clinton, of everything Obama, and as a total and unrelenting enemy to the academic left, liberalism, and political correctness anywhere. These are the nice things. The other person who works for Sputnik and is on the Moscow payroll is also on there. And no, they are not a normal news organization. Sorry that, again, when you go out, if you go to CNN, I don't think you're going to go to a little chat room that's called like the Justice thing, and then you're going to have nothing but Confederate flags, the N-words, and all kinds of horrible things spewed out. That just is not typical of a normal news organization. And if you understand why Chuba Hubbard was ticked off, could you imagine playing for a man and realizing that he can actually read that stuff for years and say that he can't see how there's no right or left, and he finds it refreshing when all they're doing is promoting conspiracy theories? And, like, I just don't get it. Again, I'm sorry.
Now to sort of go back on that Fox News thing, if a guy was wearing if he was wearing a Fox News shirt, do I think people would dissent to that and be a little bit outward about it at times? Yes, but do I think Chuba Hubbard would have said something about it? Absolutely not.
We wouldn't be talking about this at all. I don't think it would have been like. I honestly don't think any type of shirt like that. Again, I'm just trying to explain to you. You can say whatever you want, but when a lot of the people there associate themselves with white nationalists, neo-Nazis, anti-Jew, they say on their thing that the Black Lives Matters movement doesn't matter.
They called it a farce.
They say it's a farce. I'm sorry, they didn't say it didn't matter. They say it's a farce. Again, if you're coaching 70% and you're supposed to bring out a team, I just think that you should be a little bit more educated.
To be honest, I don't think you get a pass. It's just if nothing else, it's just super negligent of a leader. And you want to tell there's people writing stories you brought up about following leaders. That's a negligent leader.
Correct.
If you have a guy who cannot see past anything else besides his own viewpoint.
It just is heartbreaking, but I'll tell you one thing that's awesome. 901. You know why it's awesome? 406-1101, because you call Bill at I Buy Houses. No matter what, you can wear anything. He don't care. As long as you do what? Sell him your house, because he's buying any house, any area, as is. Simple as that. All you do is call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Any house, any area. North Memphis, South Memphis. Downtown, Midtown. Germantown, Collierville. Cordova. North Mississippi, anywhere in that area that you can hear me. Heck, people in Tupelo, down in Oxford, wherever you're at. Heck, over in Tunica, they hear me all the time on 96.1. I love that. Anywhere you hear my voice, if you call 901-406-1101, he'll buy your house. Guaranteed to close in 5 days and might just save your keister. Now, I'm coming back. We're going to lighten things up. We're going to try and have a little bit of fun here today. We're going to talk about stuff that we need. We'll give a little positive, notes on, I guess, the WNBA. But we're also going to talk hard and wood because it feels so right. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7 FM.
Hi, it's The Herd. Start your day with M-Drive Start. It's the world's best morning shake. New from the guys at M-Drive. Start is packed with elite-level nutrition and protein. Fires up your body, gives you the lean look we're looking for. Shirts coming off in the summer. M-Drive Start has an industry-best 7 clinically tested ingredients and 6 sources of protein to support energy, recovery, and lean muscle. It also includes digestive enzymes, collagen, vitamins. The list goes on. No other morning shake touches this formula. Get elite-level nutrition and protein so you feel great in the morning. Check it out at mdrivestart.com. You wake up looking for energy, you've got your product. And as part of the launch, the guys at M-Drive are offering 25% off if you sign up for their easy-to-manage subscribe and save. So go to mdrivestart.com, try it yourself. Elite-level nutrition. M-Drive Start.
DeSoto Auto Sales specializes in late model cars with low mileage. They have the highest standards in the car industry. All of their cars are test-driven, checked out from head to toe. Unlimited inventory, every make and model. And if it's not on the lot, they'll find it for you. Walk in the door of DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Within 45 minutes, you can test your car, get credit approval, and finish paperwork within an hour. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. Kind, courteous employees, a down-home environment. DeSoto Auto Sales cares about your time. Lowest prices in a 350-mile radius. We're living in a world today where time does matter. Visit them online. Check out their referrals. DeSotoAutosales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and other surrounding areas. DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Call 662-890-7184. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales.
Hey folks, I'm Jarrett Carter. My family recently purchased East Memphis Ace Hardware at Quince and White Station, and we're excited to offer the best selection of Big Green Egg and Traeger grills. And then don't forget about our Benjamin Moore Paint Studio and the Garden Center for flowers. Save 60% with our new Duracell key fob replacement program. We have a master locksmith service as well as glass cutting and screen repair. The East Memphis Ace Hardware, located at Quince and White Station behind Three Little Pigs.
From faulty breakers to broken windows, to leaky pipes, roofs, and water heaters, homes and businesses around the country can't work until the pros do. That's why Lowe's created credit programs that work for pros. With everyday 5% savings on eligible purchases, plus through October 31st, 60 days promotional financing on your Lowe's business account, or extended terms on eligible account receivables. Learn more in-store or online at lowesforpros.com. Putting money back in your pocket. Just one more reason Lowe's is the new home for pros. Subject to credit approval, U.S. only.
NerdWallet presents Money Questions, the lightning round. Here we go, Carol. How can people compare the best credit cards?
Turn to the nerds.
Should you pay off debt or save for retirement?
Turn to the nerds.
One more. Should I listen to my father-in-law's advice on mortgage lenders?
Turn to the nerds.
You win! Woo! Confetti is literally falling from the sky.
I'm going to put my winnings in a 2-year CD.
That would be prudent, Carol.
From helpful tools to expert guidance, for all your money questions, turn to the nerds at nerdwallet.com. And MLS ID number 1617539.
Start your day at Sunrise Memphis. Located in Midtown, enjoy delicious biscuit sandwiches and all their menu has to offer with quick and easy to-go and delivery options. Whether it's breakfast, brunch, or lunch, don't distance yourself from great food. For more information on Sunrise Memphis, visit sunrise901.com or call 901-552-3144 to place your order. Stay healthy and eat Sunrise Memphis today.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
If you like pina
On AM 560, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Check it out right here. Ladies and gentlemen. And now?
Now, the only man to give death a near Johnny experience. Johnny Harden.
Yo, welcome into Sports 56 Happy Hour with your friend Johnny Radio, with my very good friend Gabe Kuhn, and I love all you people texting, and yes, we agree sometimes, we disagree sometimes, but at least we all can come here, and we got an open forum to talk. If you want to rap, 901-360-8255, you want to talk to me and Gabe, come on, bring it. If you want to hit the text line, 67129, I am there for you, and again, we might disagree, we might agree, it's okay, but again, some of y'all are saying that I normally agree, like this one text, normally agree with you, John, but you're in a parallel universe with this contrived OAN garbage. I'm just trying to say from the small bit of research that I've done this morning, that this is a fact. They have somebody that is writing and on their payroll that works for the Kremlin in Moscow and writes for Sputnik. That is a fact. Again, they consider themselves on their page, it says, I oppose everything, basically that is, here it is right here. I foe anything Clinton and everything Obama, and as a total and unrelenting enemy of an academic liberalism and political correctness anywhere. Again, they go out there and attack a man, Martin Gugino, or whatever his name is. I don't know how to say it. But that's the guy who was bleeding from his ear.
The other thing I don't get is, and I'm fine with this texter's text. I understand I get what it, you have a differing opinion. You have your opinion. But contrived is referring to something that is deliberately created. This wasn't deliberately created. This was a player on Mike Gundy's team, his best player, coming out and speaking up. And then all of his teammates following him up and saying that change is needed. There's a white and black players. This is not contrived. This is something that happened yesterday.
And by the way, did not the Mike Holder, Oklahoma State's director of athletics, tweet out this afternoon has been very disturbing and eye-opening. The tweets from the current and former players are of grave concern. I mean, did you not hear the apology? Did you not hear why Gundy was with Mr. Hubbard? There was obviously an issue, and that's all I'm trying to say. Listen, we can all have our own political beliefs. I am not trying to tell you to go left or right. I am neither. And that's the other thing that makes me laugh. I am just trying to say that if you are reading a propagandistic pamphlet that's from the Soviet Union and it's like communism, blah, 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 that's obvious. If you see a swastika, that is obvious. If you see a Confederate flag, to some people, that is obvious. To others, for some reason, they say it's heritage or history or whatever. I don't know. I disagree. But we can all disagree. When I go to OAN and I see that they write that Black Lives Matters is a farce, that this guy, Mr. Whatever, you make up a thing and you say you have sources that he had some police scanner and he was stopping all these people and he hit his head on purpose to crack his skull and he wasn't even pushed. I mean, when you're making up literal BS, I got to call you on it. And you are not a journalistic organization that just makes up lies. And when you try to push one agenda and divide people, there is a huge problem with the leader of a team finding it refreshing.
I'm still trying to understand the contrived. How is this a contrived thing that we're bringing up?
I'm just
it's very like openly.
It's
a conversation
to me, man.
It's a conversation that a lot of players at Oklahoma State wanted to have with their coach, and that took to Twitter to say it. It's a story.
And it happened.
It did not deliberately get brought up by you,
Iowa,
John. John, you're not the one who just brought it up. Like this has been happening.
Yeah, and I just wanted
to go to ESPN and go look at the.
They're all
look
over
at the top
it on
stories.
There. By the way, Paul Feinbaum. Did you hear what he said today? Paul Feinbaum said it's even after like seeing the horrible apology that he thought was so contrived, where Chua Hubbard looked like he didn't even want to be there. He's literally saying Mike Gundy, he basically said should be fired. There's no excuse for this. In the time that we live in, when you're a college football coach making millions of dollars and you represent your entire school and your entire student body class, that you can go out there and represent a white nationalist movement. I'm sorry.
And also, I have to bring this up. He got called on this thing, what was it, three weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, about a month ago maybe, that he got called on OAN when he said that statement that you've brought up several times. Now he gets caught on Twitter wearing a shirt. Like, it's almost a slap in the face to the people that tried to bring it up back then, right? He knew what he was doing almost by wearing the shirt and putting it out on social media.
And by the way, just going to say this, y'all know Paul Feinbaum. We are in the South. The SEC loves Paul Feinbaum. He says, and I quote, "I thought the wrong person apologized. Chuba Hubbard is just expressing his frustration with his head coach in the middle of a international crisis, wearing a T-shirt of a network that I must admit I've never seen or heard of, but I've read enough today and about it to find out that it condemns everything that Chuba Hubbard has to believe in. This thing comes out and says Black Lives Matters is a farce, and he follows them. So I can understand the frustration of the players. What I can't understand is why Mike Gundy is allowed to continue to coach at Oklahoma State. This is not his first rodeo. This is not his first time that he's embarrassed or humiliated the university. I think the sooner Oklahoma State gets rid of Mike Gundy, the better it's going to be better for the school, and especially the players who go out every Saturday night and give their blood, sweat, and tears for that university. They should have somebody that represents them all.
All right, real quick before we move on.
And then I'm moving on.
Someone says, I might as well go watch MSNBC, a place that I'm sure meets your journalistic integrity. You guys have fun. Holler when you go back to sports. This is sports.
We're talking
this is
about
what sport. Like, this is literally sports. This is Oklahoma State football.
Like
I don't understand.
Paul Feinbaum.
I don't get it.
Know who Paul Feinbaum is?
I don't get that. And yeah, does MSNBC meet your journalistic integrity, John?
I
don't think
really.
I
don't like it. I don't even. Isn't that the one? Who they got on there?
I have no idea.
I don't either.
I don't
watch that. I'm a sports guy. I don't even care, but right now we're in a different time and a different climate. Like when I go and talk about the U.S. Open, I got to bring up Governor Cuomo. I'm sure I'm going to get called something horrible. I don't like Governor Cuomo or Chris Cuomo. Like I call him Fredo because he acted like such a punk to somebody. I mean, somebody just like, hey, Fredo. And he's like, oh, what you calling me? What you calling me, Fredo? Hey, I'm Chris Cuomo. I'm Governor Cuomo's brother, yo. Listen, I don't give a damn. I want people just to be nice. I want sports back. I want Kyrie Irving to stop trying to sow divisions in the NBA. I want the MLB owners and players to come together for the country and what's best for the game so we can have sports. And I want people to start treating people with the golden rule, and that is treat others how you'd want to be treated. And again, I don't know how a leader of men can be a leader of men if he doesn't understand the golden rule, and if he can really go into America One News or whatever, by the way, which is not on regular TV or in big cities, and it's a paid-for service. Why do you think that is? Why? Why don't you think it's just wide stream like everywhere? Oh, that's right. Because of its crazy conspiracy theories that it likes to put out there. Like, again, that the 75-year-old man that got a concussion, got his head fractured, is in the hospital, was a provocateur for Antifa and had a jammer and was trying to mess up all the Buffalo police. I mean, are y'all kidding me? I bet you $1 million they would hire Tyrone Bigham so fast. He's got a big crack walk, and he's like, I can smoke, I can write an article. You're hired. Jeez, come on, people. Let's just get real. Now, I got to say this about Cuomo. The U.S. Open, that's right, the U.S. Open tennis. We're actually having tennis back. It's been shut down. States, like for a while because of states, they've been trying to reopen in certain places, but the U.S. Tennis Association has finally declared to go forward with its very marquee event here in the country, which is in New York City, where COVID-19 was extremely, it took that state and just kind of whipped its tail, if you know what I'm saying. Seeing some of the videos, talking to some of the doctors, it was like a war zone up there. It was heartbreaking. And we are excited to announce, though, New York City, Governor Cuomo, they have come out and said, without spectators, by the way, I just want to say, and so far, they said this is still pending the future, but it's going to go on October 31st through September 13th. Again, it's going to be held without fans as of now, but you will be able to watch it on TV. It will be in New York. And I don't know. I am not a tennis guy, but I know my good friend Dave Voloshin loves tennis. I know my Uncle Derek loves tennis. I know there are people out there who love tennis. So, again, I'm not a huge golf guy, but my man Daniel Berger, I watched Xander Schauffele lip out on 17 and almost cried. I watched my man Daniel Berger win his third tournament. I watched the Charles Schwab Challenge because guess what? There are no sports. And by the way, I've been telling y'all how just like crazy I am for sports. I want NBA. I'll watch the WNBA. If you haven't heard, the WNBA has already come out, and guess what they already agreed to, Gabe? Did you hear this? It's pretty impressive. They're going to pay their players full salaries despite the small season, and players that have a health risk or have an issue, they're going to go ahead and pay them their salaries as well, and let them sit out because it's too dangerous. You know, like maybe they're pregnant or have the lung thing where you can't breathe, asthma or whatever, like diabetes. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I just know that if you have a higher risk to get COVID and make it serious, then you're going to be exempt this year. I thought that was a great thing by the WNBA, but you still will get paid. And then all the other professionals are going to be there playing. They think they're going to have a 22-game regular season. Then they're going to have a playoffs. They're going to start in, late July. So congratulations again to the WNBA. Congratulations to the U.S. Open. It's going to happen August 31st through September 13th. Again, without fans, but it will be televised from New York. I think that's a big event. I mean, that's a global event. I mean, the U.S. Open tennis is global.
I will say that also, not everybody's happy about it.
Why?
You hear about Nick Kyrgios?
I don't.
He's
know Nick Kyrgios.
He's an Australian player, known sort of for being a loudmouth, known for speaking out all the time. He's good, but he doesn't always play good. Right?
He looks like he throws matches. Is what you're
trying
to say?
No, I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying he's not. He's one of those guys that. Sometimes he'll be super invested, locked in.
Sometimes he's just
Yes. But he came out and via Twitter and said, shaking my head, people that live in the U.S., of course, are pushing the Open to go ahead. Selfish. I'll get my hazmat suit ready for when I travel from Australia and then have to quarantine for 2 weeks upon my return. Not every, and this is what we've been talking about with golf too. Like all these guys traveling from overseas, like it's tough. It really is.
It's not going to be easy on Novak Djokovic, the number one player in the world, or Mr. Kyrgios, or all these people. Again,
all the best players in the world,
but
basically.
but can I explain something to? You're going to play a game to make a lot of dang money, to be on TV, make any statements you want, and again, you're not doing it just for yourself. You're actually giving people who are struggling. I mean, right now, I've mentioned this, mental illness has killed almost as many people as the coronavirus because of suicide. It really is scary. Opioid deaths have gone up during the coronavirus astronomically because people are just sitting at home doing God knows what. What I'm saying is we need sports. We need the NBA. We need you, MLB. I need you, tennis. We need golf. I can't wait for golf to get here in Memphis. I sure hope we can have some fans. Any type of fans would be great. But again, I understand the health concerns, and the health concerns are real. But if you can get there safely, which I'm pretty sure that most of these players that are in the top, that we're talking about, they're probably flying private, right? Like, they ain't hopping on, what is it, Allegiant? Yo, can I get that 45 ticket to Atlanta and then a 60 ticket?
I didn't even think about that, man. These are single players, though.
Yeah, dude, these dudes are, man, they flying in luxury jets. Did you see how much those tennis players are making,
Well,
man?
what about Kyrgios? Like, he's not a big bread guy. Like, he's not making all.
I don't even know how to spell him. I'll just try it.
Kyrgios.
Nick Kyrgios net worth. You ready for this? Whoa. You're going to be surprised. He's already earned over $10.5 million since 2004. Not bad.
So you think he takes a private jet wherever he goes?
No, probably
with that
not.
money?
Nah.
He's flying first class. He's living all right.
That's what he's earned. He has also endorsement deals. Hold up. Think I found another stack of cash.
Possibly a bigger stack of cash.
Dude, yeah, his endorsement deals could. Ooh, not bad. Yeah, he gets every year $113,000 from 5 different sports, unsportsmanlike endorsements. Dang, dude. Every time he leaves, like his whoever is like tennis racket person, they give him $20,000 for every single match. He gets also basically $3,000 a day.
Is that the technical term? The tennis racket person?
Well, that's what it. I mean, I don't know. How
No,
to
you're
say
talking
it.
about his.
His racket.
Yeah.
Is that what it's? It's a racket, right?
Yeah, it's a racket.
Yeah, the racket sponsor. That's a very big word, by the way. I'm not even trying it. But they say his endorsements. Again, he's won he's actually won just under $10 million. Adding his endorsements though, looks like he's about up to $14,383,000 according to that's not. I mean, $14 million is not going to make you probably fly a private jet. But I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't even know who this guy's name, honestly, until today. And I would have never guessed he had that much money, to be honest with you. Wowzers. You any good at tennis?
Me?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
The only time I ever played any ball on tennis, I always got run off because we'd always playing like a wiffle ball.
You'd hit it over the.
Or we were playing softball. No, we'd be playing baseball. We'd have bats out there. We'd be playing like a wiffle ball and stuff on the tennis courts, and people.
You've never actually attempted to play tennis.
I've not played tennis yet. I've not. I don't have a racket. Where am I going to get a racket from? Like, where do you get one of those?
Probably
things?
rent one.
I guess you could go rent one or something. But anyway, I had to bring that stuff up because we are getting tennis back. WNBA, again, has been so cool, and they came out and announced the 22 regular season game that they're working on. The players and the owners, they're working well. The NBA is working well with them. And again, they're getting 100% of their salaries, and the players that are going to be high risk, they're still going to get paid to leave. I find that fascinating that the WNBA was able to work that out. I know it's not a lot. They're not probably the most high-paid people on planet Earth. But again, it is money. Now, I will tell you one thing. I also now need to go back to from the WNBA to the NBA. Now, the NBA sent out a memo saying the virus testing will be every other day starting June 23rd. All teams are currently scheduled to arrive at Disney World between July 7th through the 9th, okay? Now, all these people who, of course, have it, they can't go. You know that. People that are cool, they're all going to get down there. They're going to put them in this, quote, bubble. But I will ask you this. Do you think Brian Windhorst, because, yes, he is very connected, I was reading something he wrote, and he's making me a little bit concerned, and it's not just because of the Kyrie thing and all the players now and the opposition, which is, again, the opposition for me, I'm with Matt Barnes unequivocally. I'm with Kendrick Perkins. I'm with all those people who come out there and said, I think Kyrie's full of it. I'm with LeBron James. I'm with all, I think the best thing that they could do is to play basketball, and we need this. Just like I think the best thing for Major League Baseball is to get your tails out there and figure out what's best for the country in this game, what's best for MLB, get it done, and y'all got a labor dispute, y'all got a collective bargaining agreement, and y'all can't even get a season going this year. 2022 is going to be actually worse than this for baseball fans. That's like a nightmare to even think about. But the thing that I'm trying to get out of here is the NBA. Me and you never believe like Rob Manfred. I already told you. When Rob Manfred said 100%, I laughed. Did I not? I was like, I'm sorry. When you have two sides that far off, that is wishful thinking, homie. Now he's at least stepped off of that. Wendy is making me nervous. Talking about he was almost 100% convinced that the NBA season was going to start. He says today he says he still believes the NBA season is going to go on, but he's just not as comfortable as he was. I want to know, Gabe Kuhn, are you starting to worry that this Kyrie Irving thing is going to catch traction? And is there any way that the NBA season does not happen down in Disney World?
No.
It's happening?
I think it's happening. I really do. Obviously, it depends on the measures that they go through, and there might be some players that don't want to participate.
They've come out told about the testing. That's what I was telling you right here. They're going to have testing every single other day.
I don't see Kyrie Irving, Dwight Howard, Carmelo Anthony swaying opinion the way LeBron James, Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook, all these other guys are going to sway opinion. I mean, that's my thought on it.
I'm with you.
I could be wrong. I could be. But it seems like they have it all together. They have their plans down. And it would take something a little more drastic than Kyrie stepping out and talking out for it to not go ahead as scheduled.
Now, I'm going to tell you, we've been talking about a lot of stuff today. I've been talking about sports. People think I'm talking about politics, but basically politics and sports have basically been the same if you haven't noticed. There's not a lot of stuff going on. I could talk to you about Korean baseball, but I really didn't watch any of it last night. Can't get into it. Sorry. Now, I want to also mention Hardenwood is coming up next. I got Mark McGwire information on a ball that he hit that was once sold for $3 million in 1999. How much do you think it's worth today? Oh, I'm going to have that answer for you. I've got also the Rangers. They've now got the first person that's in the front office with what? I'll answer that. I got so many things, and then you won't even believe it. I found a guy who is such a baller. He is such a baller, he's going to marry twins. And everybody's okay with that at the same wedding. Oh, yeah, you know I'm definitely going to be talking about Hardenwood in just a second. But before I do that, I want to remind you something. Very, very, very important. We've been talking about COVID-19. We are trying to end it. And I've told you about convalescent plasma. Why is this important? Because COVID-19, getting Major League Baseball, getting the NBA back. If these people don't feel safe, if we're not all safe, if the coronavirus does come back and kick our tail, we're going to be in trouble. And golly, if this lingers into college football and the NFL, you're going to hear me cry on the air almost every day I come in here because, man, baseball, this summer is hard enough to not have the boys of summer playing, to not have my fantasy baseball going on. It's already depressing enough, but I will tell you this. You can save a life. Right now, they have already come out. A lot of people know we don't have a vaccine. We don't have any of these things. What is that stuff they were giving people? Hydroxychloroquine. We found out doesn't work. They've got remdesivir. It's on short supply. But the one thing I have looked up and found out that is unequivocal, they said is working and saving lives left and right, is those people who have actually recovered from COVID-19, or even if you're just a healthy adult, you might not even know you had it. Call this number, 866-END-CV19. That's 866-END-CV19. Guess what's going to happen? You call that number. They're going to set up an appointment. You come in. You're not going to be there long at all. I mean, you'll be there and you'll be in and out. And guess what? You get compensated. They're going to pay you for your time, and they pay you well. And you can do this like once every 11, 12 days. It's amazing. And the one thing is, it's not just the fact that you're going to get paid for giving some plasma. It's realistically, you're going to possibly save a life. And that's what's important here. Please, biological plasma, Plasma Biological Service, they're seeking healthy adults. They're also seeking all you people out there who have recovered fully from COVID-19. Your plasma is a must. It is a fight on the front lines against this virus. Let's help everybody out. 866-END-CV19. That's 866-END-CV19. Let's get rid of the coronavirus 19. Let's knock this junk out of the ballpark because I'm ready for some basketball and some baseball, and I want some football, baby. But I got a Hardwood coming up next. So if I were you, I wouldn't even think about touching that dial because I got some stuff that's going to trip you out, man. Mark McGuire's ball was sold for $3,099,000. What is it worth? Well, you're going to have to stay right here on Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car buying experience. Triumph Auto Sales is your #1 source of quality pre-owned vehicles ranging from lease returns to new car trades, all at huge savings. Plus, Triumph has a full array of financing options to meet your needs. Find your next car online at TriumphAutoSales.com or stop in today at 4875 Elmore Road. Triumph Auto Sales will help you get the vehicle you want at the price you need and the service you deserve. For a great car and a great experience from a local and family-owned business, visit Triumph Auto Sales.
Do you get into bed and find your mind still going? If so, try ZzzQuil Pure Z's liquid melatonin. It's made with an optimal level of melatonin for no next day grogginess. Pure Z's liquid melatonin, because sleep is a beautiful thing, at stores now.
Looking for a great place to deposit your money? Try First Bank. Competitive CD rates, a money market that moves with Wall Street prime and interest-bearing checking account options. Not to mention their friendly bankers who make decisions locally. To find out more, stop by one of First Bank's 3 local branches. 6482 Poplar Avenue, just east of International Paper. 8398 Highway 64 across from Wolf Chase. And 6280 Highway 64 in Oakland. Or visit firstbankonline.com. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is Rob Brown. Join Pete Cordelli and me for Sidelines, Saturday mornings, 8 to 10 a.m. on Sports 56, 87.7, and 96.1 FM. We'll cover the Memphis Tigers, the SEC, recruiting. Hey, if they keep score, we're covering it. Check us out on the website at sports56whbq.com and sidelines.live. Sidelines is brought to you by Duncan Williams Asset Management. Saturday mornings, 8 to 10 a.m. Get up and give us a call.
The landscape is so beautiful at Town Village Audubon Park. Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. Looking for a great place to retire, but you still have a very active lifestyle? Then visit Town Village. Only requirements that you're 55 plus. Prices per month starting at $24.50. The Gourmet Chef welcomes you to visit our restaurant and bistro. Package includes 3 complimentary meals per day, maid service, free local transportation, monthly coffee club, themed dinner parties, lots of fun. Visit us and call Daniel or Bo at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home. Town Village Audubon Park.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over him!
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour. Your good friend Johnny Radio and Gabe Jr. are in the house. We're about to do my favorite segment of the day. I got to remind you, I love Hardwood. I also love some of the people we're going to talk about, like Big Mac. We're going to talk about Mark McGwire. And oh my goodness, like how far has the price tag of that ball, number 70, the one he hit, pow. Did you know that thing was sold for $3 million in 1999? That was before Barry broke it. Well, I'm going to tell you in just a minute how much that basically ball is depreciated since it was sold. Yes, depreciated since 1999. It's going to make you almost sick to your stomach, and you're going to feel for this person who actually bought this ball. So it's going to be a really interesting thing. I'm also going to tell you about what's going on with the Rangers, some other things. But before I do all that good stuff, I want to also tell you, thank you so much to my friend, that's right, Chad Gatlin at MemphisFarmers.com. Go to MemphisFarmers.com. Check him out. Auto, home, life, business, whatever. Just remember, MemphisFarmers.com. They got your back. They're going to take care of you. And if you have, which you need to, you have your life insurance through your work, grab you a policy in case, God forbid, you lose your job and you know that your family, because everybody is going to live and everybody is going to die. If your time does come up, make sure your family has steady footing. Check out Chad Gatlin. I trust him. You should trust him. He is the bomb. Go to MemphisFarmers.com or call him at 901-235-1176. Now let's do some Hardwood.
This is Access Hardwood.
You gotta be kidding me. Like, could you imagine paying $3 million for a ball? $3 million for a ball in 1999? And then you find out today that you could only get $250,000 for it. Because of the steroid era, because of basically the 30 for 30.
That's a poor sucker, man.
A lot of people have gone back and wanted to find out and wanted to know how much, because the ball that the young kid who was part of the grounds crew who gave the ball back to Mr. McGwire, that was an awesome moment. Jack Buck was tearing up. That was a beautiful time. That was beautiful. Like they said, that ball was going to catch $1 million. There was a guy named Tim Foreigners who sold number 62 for $1 million. And again, Todd McFarland, and it's not like Todd McFarland is the comic book guy, right? He's not the Fry Fest guy, right?
What do you mean?
Like, all right, remember?
You're
like there was one McFarlane
comic book.
The comic book, the guy who makes
makes Family Guy and stuff. Seth MacFarlane.
Oh yeah, whatever. Seth MacFarlane.
And you're thinking of Billy McFarlane who did Fire Festival.
Well, I just wanted to make sure I got him right.
There we go. And they look the same too. We brought that up, haven't we?
One's kind of fat and one's a little bit skinnier.
Yeah, but their face is the same thing.
Yeah, same thing. They look the same. Well, my man McFarlane, he bought it, not Fry Fest, not Fry Fest. Seth.
Family Guy McFarlane.
Family Guy for $3 million. By the way, I didn't know he was such a huge, he loves memorabilia. But yeah, right now they say the ball is only worth, he might be able to catch, they said he might be able to fetch $250,000.
Here's my guess, though.
Cow.
Here's my guess. He doesn't need to sell it. That's my guess.
Because he's super
I think
rich?
He's okay. I think he'll live.
Yeah, I think he's going to.
He took an L on that.
He did take an L on that one.
He hasn't taken many L's.
Investment.
He has not taken many L's in his life, though.
No.
I'll tell you that.
I mean, who expected Barry Bonds to go out there and hit 73? You know what I mean? Like, I just don't even understand how. It just doesn't even make any sense. I mean, you have the summer of 98, and then, what was it, 2003? 2002, Bonds goes out there and knocks out 73, and that ball just goes to, dude, looking at that whole season, he had to be looking at Barry like, bro, you're going to break me, man. Don't break the record, yo. It stood for, 61 years or something before Maris's record was broke? I mean, it was the thing, and now it's the 55-game hit streak, which the way these guys swing today for the fences, you'd have to hit 55 home runs, so they ain't happening. That's going to be the hit streak. But now, I got to tell you, did you see Chase Young? I'm starting to look back and say Cincinnati. I know Joe Burrow is great and everything, but damn, dude, Chase Young is looking like a monster. Could the Washington Redskins realistically actually be going in the right direction? Like this Chase Young, this rookie, this defensive end looks like he is straight up going to be Khalil Mack on steroids. Man, I know he's not, so I should say steroids, but I just watched the Long Gone Summer, sorry. Just steroids are on the tip of my tongue. So,
it's an accusation.
I'm not saying he's doing anything. He looks like, I mean, this dude is so big. Oh, hold on. Somebody just texted me. What is the difference between Spawn? What is Spawn? Never mind. Somebody said it's not Seth. It's Todd McFarlane of Spawn. I don't know. I'm done. McFarlane bought the ball for $3 million. Now I don't even know which one it is. One of them did Fry Fest. One of them did Spawn. And now one of them did Family Guy. But one of them, all three of them.
It's a lot of McFarlane. So it's Todd McFarlane from Spawn.
What? I didn't even know there was a Spawn.
I don't even know what that is.
See, it just says McFarlane. I wish you would have told me it. Like, when you put McFarlane, the first person I thought
You
of
said
was Fry
comic,
Fest.
and I see. Never mind.
Well, it says comic. It says comic McFarlane.
I was trying to help. Clearly didn't help.
Yeah, well, dude, I didn't know Spawn was a comic. And I didn't know there was another McFarlane who's making millions. This is about to drive me crazy. Will you change my last name to McFarlane?
Let me check this. Let me see what's going on
Check
here.
and find out, man, because now I'm freaking out. I mean, it was just a tweet. I was like going, wow, this is pretty interesting. You know, Mark McGuire's ball, blah, blah, blah. You know, it says
Yeah. It's Todd McFarlane. It's Todd McFarlane.
So,
yes.
so comic book
and he
McFarlane
wrote
is
Spawn.
Todd?
Yes, he's comic book McFarlane. I didn't know there was a comic book McFarlane.
So
That's
I
on
didn't
me.
know
That's
that.
on me.
By the way, I didn't know there was a comic book McFarlane either, and I didn't know that we quit calling them by their first damn names.
So Todd McFarlane is the one who took a L on buying that.
Todd took one. Todd
Not
took one
Seth.
big. Seth has taken plenty of L's, I'm sure, in his life. But this is a person who has not taken an L lately, and that is going to be the Washington Reds defensive end. And I'm going to say this, I can't believe it. Dak Prescott, Carson Wentz. Everybody, you better watch out because this young man is coming, and he looks like he's going to be coming hard and long for a long time. I think he's bad to the bone. But this is the one that's this is so hardwood. I don't think you're going to believe me when I tell you this, but it's probably one of the best hardwood stories I've told you in a while. Would you believe it would be okay? Like, would you be okay if your twin daughters were marrying the same man?
What kind of question is that? Of course not. What?
Okay.
Is Charlie Sheen back at it? What's Charlie Sheen doing?
This is so crazy. This is not a joke either. I'm being dead gum serious. These identical twins, they're identical, by the way. They do everything together, they say. So they even dated the same guy. They fell in love with the same guy. Again, because they do everything together, which freaks me out. Like, I mean, I understand being identical and you're in the womb and everything, but there's just certain thing I don't think I would do with my twin. But hey, again, I don't have a twin. Amen. Amen to that, brother. But the fact that the identical twins who claim to, I mean, in huge quotes, share everything, even a boyfriend, are getting married this week. What? They're going to marry the same man. So, like, the dad's going to walk down the 26-year-old twin sisters to the same dude, and then they're going to have a marriage. Now, just a curious question for you. On a regular marriage, what do you give the likelihood for divorce? 50-50?
Pretty high now. I don't know the exact number.
55, 45?
Let's give a little more hope.
Let's just
Let's
go
get
55.
60-40.
Let's go. 60, they stay married. 40, they get divorced.
Yeah, let's be
Okay,
fair.
you're being a little more.
Let's be a little nice.
Now, if you're marrying two identical twins, do you give them a more likely that they're going to stay together forever, or do you give this more likely to get divorced? I don't know about you. I love honey. If there were two of them, no.
So I think this is sort of testing ground, right? He's going to be the guinea pig of this.
Yep.
I don't know if there's been a bunch of other cases of
I don't know
one person
I don't know
marrying
about
twins.
This one's messing me up really
So I
bad.
can't make a call either way, right?
I mean,
right?
I'm going to have to say this just from experience. I was married.
You have an experience with this? You have experience with this?
Oh, no. I used to have a bunny ranch. I called it, that was my house, because I was like, I always like, it was, you know, I liked it. But I wasn't married then, by the way. But what I'm trying to say is, with my wife, I loved her, but not enough to stay married to her. And if there was two of them, I don't think we would have made it 5 years. I think we would have made it 2.5. It would have just made it like twice as annoying, faster. So I hate to be that person. And yeah, there's some guy out there thinking to yourself, man, what are you talking about? Twins who share everything? Forget this. You have to also understand, it's the same woman. Like two of the same woman.
Like, you have to talk to both of them when you walk in. Can you imagine that one time of the month where they both have to tell you about their feelings and how everything's bothering them? Could you imagine coming home from work and listening to that? I'm going to tell you right now, this thing ends in divorce before the end of next year. Just my opinion. And again, this is my opinion. Hit me up at 67129, and if you agree with my opinion. If you disagree, please hit me up also at 67129 and tell me why. But I am so sorry. There is no way on this planet I would ever marry two of the same women. Period. Gabe can't even talk. He's laughing so hard over there. And by the way, no, they are not conjoined. A bunch of people are asking me, are they conjoined? No, they're not. They're identical twins. They're actually really good looking, which is messing me up. Like, they're good looking women. But again,
who's the man? Who's the dude?
All they say is his name is Ben. They don't
I
want
need
to
more
give,
than that, man.
See, they show the picture.
We need to have a reality show about this, to be completely honest.
Yes, we do. Actually, I would love to be the talk show host on this one because I would get down and dirty. I'd want to know the real questions. You know what I'm saying? But how much, like, y'all literally put out, y'all share everything, even who we date. Like, you know what I'm saying? How does that work? I don't understand that. That just doesn't make any sense to me. So I would have to go and figure that one out. Sorry. It's just crazy. Now, I will tell you this. Somebody just tweeted to me, John, did you know in Australia somebody already did this? And they both also got pregnant. Uh-oh. Looks like we've already had somebody actually married.
Are they
twins.
Together still? Oh, no,
they got married in 2019.
Divorce?
They're both pregnant. That sounds like a nightmare. Great, 2 pregnant twins, and you're married to them. Yeah, I'm sorry, I ain't doing this. Good luck.
But that is more hands on deck for kids. You have 3 people to be able to take care of the kids.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess that's kind of a positive, right?
By the way, I do have to admit, thank you for sending me this one. This is the other thing that's also messing me up. Both sets of twins are very beautiful who married the same man.
And then also, how do you take, like, dates? Do you all 3 go on dates and get a babysitter, or do you leave one at home?
Ooh.
That's an interesting question.
See, I think that you would have to get a babysitter and take both out because if you all
you can't show preferential treatment.
Yeah, if you show preferential treatment, one of the twins is going to get upset, and next thing you know, nobody wants a cat fight. Again, I used to be really, really against women fighting UFC because I saw that brutal one, over at Minglewood.
And then also, here's the other question: are technically the twins? Are they technically?
They are twins.
Married to each other too.
Well,
like, how does that work?
I guess they are because you're married. Well, no, they're both married to Ben. And then according to this one, another set of twins is married to another man. Let me find out what this guy's name is.
I have a lot of questions.
By the way, again, the other thing is, the only problem that I do have to say is when I look at the twins, like, they're both gorgeous. So I can understand the intrigue. I just can also tell you that after a while, the whole feelings and telling them about their work day and all that stuff, I couldn't listen to 2 when I come home from work. It's hard enough to get through 1. Why are you looking at me like that?
Come on, man.
You don't think I was breathing the other day.
Come on. If you're marrying somebody, you got to have a little compassion. You got to listen to.
Dude, I've been with Honey for 10 years. I love her. I do all that stuff, but you know that.
Hey, I have great news for you, though. Guess what?
Give me some good ones.
Nathan's hot dog eating contest is still going on.
What do you mean?
Like, it's still going on.
Hold on.
It's still
like
on.
July 4th, you mean?
Yeah, still on. They're going to have it at a private location without fans. Chestnut, Joey Chestnut.
Chestnut, Joey Chestnut.
Yeah. How come? You know what I always wondered about the hot dog eating contest? How come the fat guys are not good at it?
Why
you would
is
think
Matt
they'd be good.
Cody a guy that's like this tall and like 90 pounds? I watched him do down at what is it? Where's the Cowabunga burger? Cookie Canucks. They had those huge burgers. Dude did it in like 4 minutes and 11 seconds. What? I couldn't. You know that me and you together wouldn't be able to finish one of those.
Yeah, I know. Like, I always wondered, like, why are the big dudes, the fat dudes, probably the biggest stomach, right? Maybe not though. Because I heard like Joey Chestnut and them do like they train obviously, so they like know how to stretch out their stomachs.
Dude,
in some
all
way.
I know is I do not like it. I don't want to see it. It is gross.
Speaking of gross, did you hear about NFL's Bakari Rambo, who was arrested for alleged rape in Georgia? The ex-NFL safety. He was also an All-American in college. He was arrested this week. He has been accused of raping 21-year-old Georgian woman, and right now he is in jail, and they say he is posting bond, but this is not looking good. Rambo, and I remember him back in the days. Heck, I remember all those days. That's so horrible. But anyway, bad news for him. But then there's also other news out there that's, I guess, good. Like he said, we're going to get to watch on the 4th of July the Nathan's hot dog.
No, time out. I never said I'd watch it. I never said I'd watch it, man. I can't watch that stuff. That's gross.
Now, the last two things I want to say, I want to ask you which bothers you more. Are you more upset that Arnold Schwarzenegger is freaking out because he says, I will not come back to Gold's Gym if they will not wear masks? They have no mask on at the gym. I don't understand. We're in the middle of a global pandemic. Do they not understand? They do not like this. So he will not go back to Gold's Gym until they are forcing masks on people. Now, are you backing Arnold Schwarzenegger, or are you backing the new Tom Brady look in his new Bucks uni? Who are you down with?
Man, I just want you to do that voice for the rest of the show. I don't care about anything else at all. At all.
Oh, I just love it. I love you. I love everybody, and I love this show. We got one more segment. Don't forget, though, 3 to 6. Wolo and Stats are going to drive you home, but me and Gabe got you for a few more minutes right here on Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7 FM.
Spend your lunch with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 middays, delivered by FedEx. Weekdays from 10 to 1 on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
Oh, my stomach.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Try new Pepto-Bismol chews. The same fast relief of Pepto-Bismol, now in a delightful chew.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children. You check things all the time, like your email every 10 seconds. Or your ex's Instagram? But what about checking something as important as your credit? Well, Discover makes it quick, easy, and best of all, free. Discover is now offering FICO credit scores, the score used by 90% of top lenders, for free, even if you're not a customer. Checking your score won't hurt your credit, and you can check each month for changes, always for free. The Discover Credit Scorecard, free for everyone. Learn more at discover.com/credit scorecard. Limitations apply.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Father's Day can be stressful, trying to find the perfect gift for dad. Thankfully, Tommy John, the revolutionary underwear and clothing brand, knows that comfort is for everyone. Right now, Tommy John is offering limited edition Father's Day gift sets, plus 25% off site-wide. All you have to do, go to TommyJohn.com. 25% off site-wide. The code's HERD. That's TommyJohn.com, code HERD. Go to their site, check them out for all the details.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
Commitment, dedication, perseverance. At FedEx, our people are our strength. Even during these unprecedented times, we are delivering medical supplies, test kits, and the things you need every day. Helping the world move forward together. Strength, what we deliver by delivering. FedEx.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Thick and thin, I'm your pusher man. I'm your pusher man.
I am your push-up man. And again, I got to tell y'all, thank y'all so much for coming back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with your buddy Johnny Radio. We've rapped about a lot. Baseball, I'm just going to sit around. I'm going to tell you something. I just got to keep my fingers crossed, and I literally got to pray that these two sides can figure out that they better start doing what's good for the game and the people. And if they continue this up, it's going to be a disaster. I'm also praying that LeBron and, Chris Paul and all of them, they get this straight. I don't like the whole Kyrie trying to divide the NBA players. I think it's important that we get back some sports. We got an announcement that the WNBA plans a 22 regular game season. They're going to start in late July. Everybody says, like even Brian Windhorst, he sends out a tweet that's like, well, we have gotten at least, some verifications. And he's now saying things like, if the season does happen, the NBA did say in a memo that virus testing will be done every other day starting June 23rd. And then teams, after all these testing, they're all going to be scheduled to arrive at Disney World between July 7th through the 9th. Of course, if anybody fails the COVID-19 test, they will not be going down to Disney World, obviously. But hopefully we are going to get basketball in July. I'm going to pray that we're going to get some baseball. I hope that, we get football and everything else because I'm praying for that because looking at Tom Brady and his Bucs jersey is mighty fresh, I must say. But also, again, tennis. It's going to happen in New York. It's not going to have fans, but guess what? It's going to happen, and that's also important. August 31st through September 13th. But the one thing I got to end on, and it ain't Kyle Shanahan getting rich, but what's up with the golf people freaking out about Bryson DeChambeau? I never, ever thought, I read this and it makes sense in some aspects, but I didn't know that Bryson DeChambeau was the best golfer in the world. Did you? I didn't. People, I was reading this article and it says, and I was shocked. I'm going, what is going on? And it shows Bryson DeChambeau and how he's, basically he's turned into, this unbelievable specimen of a man is basically what they're talking about. They're like, look at what he was and look at where he is. And they go on and they talk about the dramatic changes in his body and how he's now driving the ball farther, 100 yards, he's more accurate. He's put on 40 pounds of muscle. He's working tirelessly. Isn't that what we want? But instead of going, man, this current transformation in his body, he's just plowing the ball, 300. They said he plowed the ball 20 yards past Dustin Johnson, who hits the ball pretty damn far. And instead of congratulating him, you got golfers who are saying, great, we're going to have to either make courses 10,000 yards for somebody like him. Colin Montgomery's the one who's making most of the complaining. Or we're just going to have to make a ball that's 80%, 85% maybe as far as it goes now because people like Bryson DeChambeau make the damn game unfair. Did Daniel Berger not just beat Bryson DeChambeau last week? I thought so. In golf, it isn't just driving. That's the long drive competition. You got to putt, you got to chip. I didn't know that he was up there yet. I didn't know that Bryson DeChambeau's won so many majors that I need to change the whole game of golf for this one man. So I just want to ask you, Monty, Are you just so bored right now and you're tired of not being somewhere, so you go out there and write some idiot article so they can put it on the New York Post and in the Golf Digest? Because I just don't get it. Watching Bryson DeChambeau this week makes me know that the game has to change, and drastically. Guys today are just too big and strong and powerful. And then Daniel Berger, I just wanted to say, he's 6'1", 175 pounds. He just beat Bryson DeChambeau, the guy they're freaking out who's like 6'3", 240. They're like, oh, he's too big. He hits the ball too far. Everybody chillax. Now, most people said this. If you were to marry the twins, it might be good for a little while. But trust me, I'm with Johnny. It'd get bad and end in divorce. I have to say I agree. Whatever y'all do me a favor. For Gabe Kuhn, I'm John Harden. Get out there. Make this world a better place. I'll see y'all on the flip side. Peace.